Yes, people, welcome back to another video. Sinclair TV back again tonight. It is about the transfer update show. I've got two guys with us. I've got Carl and Roly. And let's say you haven't got your boxing gloves on tonight, guys. How are you?
Well, I haven't needed them of late because for some unknown reason we've been agreeing most of the time.
Yeah, we're getting on at the moment. It's going well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got already ties in the dressing rooms, well, sort of thing. You know, when I say stop, I mean stop, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm sure you two will be fine. So, guys, if you like the video, like what you see, give it a like, subscribe, super chat, and also the, you know what it is, the membership as well, 99p. So I'll go for the comments straight away. Hi to Leslie. So I hope to see you all 7:15. It was 10-7 because ran a little bit late. Ready for John guests on everything transfer related. Thank you very much indeed for that, Leslie, as always. And that's me. It's gone to I Like Coffee. Big up to you, Coffee. Hope you're okay. Raphinia, Vlahovic, and Savage will do me. Yeah, that'd be great. Even to Alan, even to Ashley as well. Big up to Ashley as well, and big up to Julie G as well. Let's go straight on to it. The first one we're going to talk about is Raphinia for Barcelona, as he joined from Leeds United in the summer for around about 60-odd million quid, I believe. He's got a market value of 50 million euros, and he's being linked with Newcastle and also, surprise, Chelsea. So this season, 24 appearances for the Spanish Giants, 6 goals, 4 assists, and he's only covering because Musa Dembele, has been injured for quite a long time, and he's taking his place. But apparently, he's doing brilliant this season as well for Barca in his first season. Now, according to reports from Barcelona, they need to sell players to raise 178 million before they enter the transfer market again. The Catalan Giants has been in debt for about £1 billion, and they're looking to sell players just to get that money as well. And it's been linked to Newcastle and Chelsea as well, by the way. But Newcastle really wanted this player. So I started you, Roly. What do you make of that? Raphinia, would you take him to Newcastle United? Because if it's available, I would.
I would, with certain caveats. I wouldn't want to pay 60 million for him. I wouldn't want the wages that he's probably on at Barcelona. But if we can get him for a decent price and decent wages, I'd have him. He's a good player. He was very good at Leeds last season. Seems to be doing all right when he gets time at Barca. But Barca are in a really weird situation at the minute. I don't know if you are aware of it, but they're being investigated for bribing refs over the last 20 years. They've been paying into paying the head of the Referees Association in Spain, so they're under investigation for that, which is really it's a bit dodgy.
Well, it's coming from Real Madrid, isn't it? I've seen that from Madrid reports. But if you know what, mate, there's been games where I'm like, nah, something not right about that. Like you know, how is that not being given? You know, it's mainly with Man United. They seem to get every decision, and I'm thinking, well, if this is a legit, genuine thing that's been going on, and there's one team in England doing it, it's bloody Man United.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't surprise us. But yeah, 20 years.
I mean, they reported it on Sky. There's whether it's come from Real Madrid or not. They're saying that Athletic Bilbao supporters were waving Euro notes with in protest and really having a go at Barcelona. So it sounds like it's not just Real Madrid. It sounds like it's actually a proper investigation into corruption. So, the Bilbao fans are wanting Barcelona relegated. Now, if that happens, it'll be open season. There'll be loads of players that go after.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun, Liga sort of thing as well. But like I said, sort of thing. I mean, Barca, like, you know, they're heavily in debt, and I cannot believe they spend all that money in the summer, like Lewandowski, Raphinia. I can't believe that as well. But they got players like Fati as well. He's a wonderful.
Well, it's working. It's working. They're doing well this season. I think they're top by quite a few points as well.
They're top of the table, the game in hand as well. But they're going to win our Liga this season. They're going to win the thing this season. Like, well done to Barca once they get there. But look at Raphinha's previous clubs. You got like Victoria Guimaraes. You got Sporting Lisbon, Rennes, Leeds United, and Barca. He's played for quite a few clubs, and he's 26 years of age. And
it's a good age.
It's a good age. Yeah, I agree with you. Good age, right? And he plays on the right side of midfield in Miggy's position. But the thing is, though, right, we do need to up our attacking options as well, Cal, because at the minute, we're not scoring enough. We love Miggy. Yes, he scored yesterday, but at the end of the day, they need a winger that's got an end for that to his game. And I think Raphinia could be different. I know Fox is in the chat somewhere along the line. I'm sure he's listening. But if Raphinia is available, I'll go over heaven and get him. That means matching his wages. Just do it.
Oh, really? Even if you would match his wages, would you, no matter what?
So much he's on a week. I know he's on a canny bit a week, but
yeah,
it comes to that. But I think if he's going to come back, he'll probably come to the Premier League, and they can get Leeds because they won't be able to not go back to Leeds. But if he's going to come back, he'll probably go play like a pod where he's going to be comfortable. You look at like Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton as well, both Brazilians, as you know. I think he wants to come because the Brazilian contingent as well. So if it's available, I would go all out and get this guy because this guy is a proper winner.
Yeah, I understand that sentiment, but his wages would worry me.
Do you know how much he's on a week, though? Do you know how much he's on a week?
No, I don't know, but going to Barcelona, he'll be on a fair bit. The problem they have, if he's on more than any of our top players are on,
exactly.
The first thing they do is they go in and say, Amanda, you pay him that much. Look what we've done. We want more money.
Well, I was speaking to a man in the. I don't know how legit it is, but I was speaking to a gentleman in the pub for the match last night, and or was it last night? The game we won against Wolves. I can't remember when it was.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and he was telling me a story about when Wilson was in the World Cup. He was sitting next to someone. I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about wages apparently. And it's apparently his opinion. He thinks he's legit knows what's been going on. He says Wilson hasn't been injured. He says there's something going on in the background with wage issues with Wilson because he's been talking to someone in England in the World Cup, and he's basically went to Wilson well, I'm on this much a week, and then Wilson's went, well, what Anyway, apparently what he said to Wilson was just speak to your agent and just say you want more money. And I think I don't know how true it is, but apparently that's what he was saying. And obviously Wilson's come back from the World Cup, never been the same player, and then got injured again. Well, did he or not? But if it's true, then these wages can have an issue with the squad. And like ROLYS saying, how much is he going to be on? If he's on more than Joe or Bruno, it could cause issues. But Wilson's come back and said that and got his agent involved to do more money. And then what do you think of that?
Wow. I'll tell you what, that's true to form, right? First, he's got to perform more. He's got to start scoring more goals and deliver. But that's
apparently he's asking for more money. Apparently he's asking for more money and he was never injured. But I don't know how true it is.
Wow. That is the first I've heard of that as well. But if you heard that sort of thing, then let us know. But that does not look great.
Hypothetically speaking, if he is asked, I mean, it's his right to ask for more money. But if he's going to ask for more money, you'd think that the club will say, well, if you perform well for the rest of the season, we'll look at it at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think it was because Wilson was on the lowest wages out of the lads at the England squad in the changing room, whoever he was sitting with. And they've obviously turned.
It wouldn't surprise me that it'd be one of the lower earners, because though Premier League players aren't badly paid, but there'll be players at the World Cup playing for Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, who pay a lot more wages than we do.
Yeah.
So if he's been talking to them, you can understand. So, oh God, I'm better than him, and he's getting this much.
So if he's getting 30 grand and his teammates in the England squad are getting 100 grand, he's saying, like, all you need to do is go see your agent, tell him you're not getting.
I'd expect him to be on a fair whack more than than 30 grand, but I wouldn't expect him to be on 100.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at someone like Mason Mount, he'll be on at Chelsea. He'll be on
at least 60.
Yeah. Rashford will be on more than them. You look at, obviously Kane will be, but you're looking at some of the other players that are in the squad. I mean, it can be. I mean, international breaks are the ones are the breaks where players get tapped up. They get
the total of that players from a different
clubs in that way. The players. It could be a factor. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is. I say, but he hasn't been the same player since he got back.
Yeah. I mean, I put that down to his illness because he picked up that slight hamstring strain in the World Cup, and then he was ill when he got back.
Yeah.
If it's COVID related, that may have more to do with it than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to let you know before I go through the comms as well, that about Raphinha's wages, everyone said he's on a fair whack here and a fair whack there. He's on 100k a week, 5.2 million a season. I've just googled it up. Raphinha is on 5.2 million a season, 100k a week. So
100k is not too
100k
bad.
a week. Yes,
that's not too bad.
No, he's a top player. Yeah, he's a top player.
I would have thought that at Barcelona would be on more than that.
You would have thought that. You would have thought that.
You'd thought it'd be 150 to 200k, but 100k isn't too bad for a player of his ability. At that price, it's just that at that wages, it's just the transfer fee that I'd worry about. Yeah. If Barcelona want to raise money, they're going to try and screw you for as much as they can.
Yeah, probably because they're very good at that as well. I don't know what the release clause is. I have no idea, but it'd be very interesting. We'll check it out. Go on for Lee. Sorry, Willie.
So I believe in Spain they have to have a release clause, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're asking for a stupid amount of money, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, they do. Especially if they do.
Exactly. Going through some comments as well. Got more comments firing through. Keep them coming in, please. Big up to Lee, by the way. I hope you're okay. Yeah, great match yesterday. Hope this is a run and roll for a winning. Well, yes, absolutely. And a coffee Raphinia would give competition for Miggy and Raphinha on the right side. I think it'd be first choice if he came. I think Newcastle needs to win a trophy and consistently needs to play in Europe before Newcastle can attract top players. Ashley, I think you could get top 4. What do you think, Molly?
Yeah, I think we're it's in our hands. Though we're 5th and 4 points behind Spurs, we have 2 games in hand, and they still have to come to St James's. So it's in our hands.
Yeah.
Will we get top 4? I don't know. Are we capable of getting top 4? Definitely. It's basically it's up to the players. If they want it enough, they're good enough to get it, and that will attract a better quality of player than we will get just being in the Europa League or the Europa Conference.
Just being in around that area is a good. I mean, you know, you see Chelsea are interested as well. Look where they are at the minute. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's looking up and thinking when Newcastle are, you know, around that area, then absolutely he would come. But I get what Ashley's saying. We need to cement that position maybe before anyone makes that decision. You know.
Yeah, to a certain respect, but they can see that the club's on an upward trajectory, and it's a steep upward trajectory. So the project, how quickly it's happening, and if we finish in the Champions League, I think that would be enough to attract the top quality players if we can get them for the right price on the right money.
Yeah,
absolutely. It depends what league they come from as well, because some of the league, I mean, like the French leagues, they pay peanuts compared to the Premier League. I'm not sure what it's like for the top players in Italy, what their wages are like. In Spain, outside of Real Madrid and Barcelona, the money's not that bad for wages, so we can entice players with the wages that we are offering. It's like Diego Carlos, who went to Villa.
Yeah.
So like
he was what we were offering him was a significant pay rise from what he was getting at is it Atletico?
Sevilla.
Sevilla. And they were title challengers. They're always up there and about in Spain. So if for one of their top players, we can give them a significant wage rise, it's pretty much outside of Barcelona and Real Madrid. The wages are probably modest compared to Premier League.
If we got Champions League and Chelsea didn't, and you know Chelsea, we aren't going to pay what Chelsea are willing to pay.
Yeah.
You know that, right? So we all know that. But some players do tend to go where the money is rather than where the competition is, you know. So we may make Champions League and still not get them. Do you know what I mean? It's not guaranteed.
No, nothing's guaranteed until they sign on the dotted line. I mean, we found that out with that youngster. He was on trial and then went to Chelsea. They probably offered him. We probably offered him sort of like $5,000 a week, and Chelsea probably offered him 20.
and the car. See that Mercedes? It shows.
It's. I think that the top players, obviously, they want the money, but they want to be playing in the Champions League, so they've got the spotlight on them. Yeah, because they are.
Absolutely.
To be a good player, you've got to have an ego. So you want to be where you can grow your ego the most, which is the Champions League. I think that if we get the Champions League, we won't get the top players, but we'll get a better quality player than we would go after. Yeah. If we were in the Europa Conference. Or if we just finished outside the European places, you get better quality.
Definitely.
And when you're in the Champions League, their players are willing to are more likely to take the so-called risk of coming to Newcastle than if we weren't playing in Europe. It's like when we were last January 2022, trying to get out of the relegation zone. It's a lot harder to attract players than it is if you're mid-table or at the top. It's the same sort of. We've got the same sort of handicap, but for a different quality of player.
Yeah. Do you agree? I'll go through this comment because I'm overloaded with comments as well. By the way, get back to points in a bit. John, would you take De Jong if you go back to him in the summer? That is fun. He'd be staying at Barca. I'd love to have him at Newcastle United. No problems at all.
I think he's ribbing you there, John.
Yeah, I'm just going to wind them up as well. So
because he's saying, would you get back into De Jong?
I'm getting them back. You know what I mean? But I feel not sure about that's from Julie, we prefer Diaby from Leslie, and John will improve it if that is there's allowed to buy the corruption charge. Barca might not be allowed to buy players. Yeah, I don't think they will in the summer. Let's go into this one. Vlahovic, we'll talk about him in a bit, Julie. We'll chat to him in a bit. I thought Barca and Chelsea were bankrupt at the beginning of the season. Well, they can still swing what they want. I think Newcastle's got a big chance to finish the top four, but I'll look to see Newcastle take the top 3 spot for Man U. That's good luck with that. Take fourth. I think there's a lot of crap going on as well. Some of the stuff that's been thrown by Man U and Man City is disgusting. Yeah, they said in a report saying that they want to buy Man U. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Not a chance. Sounds like a bit with the refs. That's Lee. Whispers, yes, chatting to Les. Let's just crack on. Leave my team alone. Constantine, please. My team is in Barcelona. That's an Ashley. Anyways, when a lot of Man U fans said they never get decisions their way this season, and since Chelsea got away with a similar tackle on Saturday, Casemiro should have also been let off.
No. There were challenges in the Chelsea game that could have had red cards. I forget, so one of the Leicester players chopped João Felix, which should have been a red. We didn't get it, but there's no way that Casemiro. I mean, that's a horrible challenge. It's not so much that he just jumped in on it. Yeah. I watched it again, and it's definitely a red card. I mean, if Bruno can get a red card for a tackle like that, then I'm sorry, Casemiro's got to go as well, because they got the ball slightly, but it's a follow through. I'm sorry, but it's reckless. Dangerous. Sorry, it's dangerous.
Just whether Dan Ash was working on Madison deal, 60 mil, that's from Julie J. We haven't seen that yet, but if that is true, then we'll just see.
I don't think it'd be 60 mil. He's
He's
going into the last year of his contract. And he's had a new contract on the table for a year now. Well, it'll be a year when he come to the summer. So it won't be 60 million.
Yeah. Newcastle aren't playing Europe consistent basis yet, so Newcastle can attract some of the best players in the world. Well, actually, we've got Bruno Guimaraes as well. He's a world-class midfielder. Yeah, we got Isak as well. Quality striker as well. So we can attract players to Newcastle, but just wait till next summer when we get the sponsorship as well. We can attract players to Newcastle. And also, too, I didn't know, he said last 2 months that Asen should leave. He's played so well yesterday.
Yeah, he was really good. There's one thing I noticed about ASM yesterday is every time he got the ball, the first thing he did was look up and see where everyone else was before he did anything else with the ball. He's always looking to see where everybody else was so that he could still run with the ball, but he would be continually looking to see where people were so that he had the choice of either try and do something himself or let it off to somebody rather than before he'd just try and do it all himself. So, well, I thought he made a lot of good choices in his delivery of the ball. He linked up really well with Isak, but he seems to be more aware of where everybody else is on the pitch in a black and white shirt. So that was quite pleasing to see.
Yeah. I thought Asen did okay yesterday. You know what I mean? A lot of running the ball sort of thing. And, what I do realise as well, he does track back and help out defend as well, which is good. So, yeah, I agree with you there. It's that true about Wilson, let him go and sign a striker in the summer. Well, if he's happy on what he's getting, if he's not performing, then we get another striker in anyway. No risk, no buts there. And 100k a week is what a few of our players are on. Callum's not on that. Sefton saying, who's big up to Sefton, by the way? I told you all bounce back ability. Yes, you did.
Yes, he did.
And look at that one. Hey, Sefton as well. Andrew said that's a load of bollocks. Excuse me, French, I shouldn't swear. Wilson knows that Kim Tripp's on 100k a week. It's all over the Chronicle. He won't be earning that much, and he knows that. Why would you do that, Kyle?
Why would he do what? Why would Wilson get his agent to ask for more money?
Yeah, basically. Well, according to Andrew, he said that's a load of bull.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
It's words.
It's just what I was told. It could be a load of bull. I don't want to believe it because it's not the attitude we need. We don't need players asking for more money. At the same time, I can kind of get it. Like if he's looking around the squad and seeing everyone else, more money than him, then would you do it? Like you got to put yourself in his shoes and think, well, would you want the same or if not more if you're getting less than everyone else? So maybe think of that before we judge, because I probably would. I would probably ask for more money. But yeah, we don't know. We don't know what to believe, do we? I'm just sharing what I was told in the pub. Just thought I'd share it.
I think the other thing you've got to remember is just because he asks for more money doesn't mean he necessarily wants to leave the club.
No, not at all. But
he may want more money, but he may want to stay. I think people tend to equate wanting more money as a way of, it's like an ultimatum. I either get more money or I'm going. It may be, I want more money, and I want to stay here.
Yeah, but I think it happened with John Terry years ago, where he said his agent said he wanted more money or he was wanting to go to another club, and I think it all comes from past real like what's happening in the past.
I'm sure there are players and agents that do that, but
there is,
but I think that's why you have a wage structure so that everyone's in the same sort of ballpark.
And plus, he signed this contract, so
he signed a new contract. Was it last year? Wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
I think it was last year.
I think he did. Was this under the contract as well?
He would be on more money than he was on this previous contract.
Yeah, I don't believe it, to be honest. I don't think it's true. I don't think he would do that. But I kind of get it in the same sense that if others are on more, then I get why he would want to be as well.
And they may have had that conversation, and he's happy now.
Yeah. I mean, according to Callum Wilson's wages, I think he's on 46 grand a week. So
that's not a lot, is it?
No.
When you look at our players, I mean, we found out how much Joe Linton was on when he got done for drink driving. He's on 43k a week, and I thought he'd be on a lot more than that. So I think, in general, I think our squad, by Premier League standards, is at the lower end of the pay scale.
Yeah,
it
is.
You can understand players wanting more money, and that's probably why the likes of Fabian Schär and Miggy, Trips, well, not so much Trips, have been signed to new improved contracts because they proved their worth.
Yeah,
they deserve it. It wouldn't surprise me if Joe Willett gets offered a new contract in the not too distant future, and Joe Linton.
Do we know what Botman's on?
No,
because he couldn't have been cheap. Him.
The thing about it, he came from Lille and they play peanuts.
Yeah,
so he could have been on something like 15 grand at Lille. We'd pay him 45. So he's tripled his wages, and he's still a cheap. Well, it would be a bargain wages compared to his output. I don't know how much he's on, but he wouldn't have been on a lot at Lille. So what we'd offered him would have been very attractive compared to what he's on. I mean, they'll up his money soon as well.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think it's very important we extend his contract. He's very important.
Very important, absolutely, guys. Let's go some more comments. Please hit the like button. We could go on to Vlahovic in a bit. So I'll go through this first. Go on to Vlahovic. We got to Legend, by the way, Paul Legend. Hope you okay, mate. And hope things are okay with you, mate. And
hope Lily's recovering well.
Lily's covering well, mate. Yes, keep us posted on that one, mate. Because when we heard that, it's just sad, man. But hope Lily's absolutely fine, and wish Lily would get well soon. Hi, everyone. Hi to Paul and Sefton, who's you know that Raphinha's on confirmed 240k a week. Well, I just screwed up. He's on 100k a week, so we just don't know. Just guess, I guess. If our destiny is in our own hands, top four is a possibility. That's an Alan. I hope that's the case. We got to Davey, by the way. Davey from Benwell. Davey's back. He's great to see him back. With the fixtures we have, top four looks a bit of challenging. Yet we could do this. Chelsea get nowhere. Half their players will leave. If they get top four, they're knackered, I'm telling you. Hi, Leslie. That's from Davey. I don't think we have any hard games, do we? Well, Man United at home, Arsenal at home, Spurs at home. They're tough games, but we're going
to Chelsea away.
And Chelsea away last game of the season as well.
Wouldn't that be sweet if we go down to Stamford Bridge and beat them, and it means they don't qualify for Europe?
Oh, that would be good, that like.
Exactly. That would be sweet. That would be sweet.
But let's be honest. Be real, right? I'm legit. I'm not scared of Chelsea. I think.
No, am I.
I'd be very confident going to Chelsea. From what I've seen, I think it's an easy win. I think we can definitely. Well, if we play like we do at home, if we can keep this up, how we can play, then I think we beat them. Not that easy.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be sweet if we do Chelsea like we did in the season. I think we finished fifth. That'll be an unbelievable season with a 5-year project and a when we see final. We can still get fourth, seventh. If we get fifth, sixth, I'll be over the flipping moon. Though we already played you at Old Trafford, mate, and Paul confirmed that. We've already played, yes, we did. And we got one, Ashley, Neil's t-shirt. I was saying yesterday, Chelsea can't buy every good player. Sorry, John, that's absolutely fine. Nash is absolutely fine. It's not bad chatting to Leslie. We could finish fourth. We could finish eighth. Let's wait and see where we finish and wait until the window open for players.
I don't think we'll finish as low as eighth.
I don't think you will.
No, I think we're going to be in the top six. Where in the top six, I don't know.
6 is minimum for me. Like, yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah.
Especially if we go on a run now.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got 58 people watching. Thank you very much indeed, watchers. And if you'd like to hit the like button, that'd be fantastic. If you'd like to subscribe, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel as well. It's going up all the time. And if you'd like to super chat, it's open. And if you'd like to be a member, it's just 99p. I think Newcastle need to offload players, I think, first to make space to new players. Ashley, I agree.
Yeah, but we're going to lose a load of players whose contracts have run out that are in the squad. Like Sir Paul Dummett, Matt Ritchie, their contracts are up. So there's 2 straight away. I think
Lewis, Lascelles, yeah.
Yeah. I think with Lascelles, I think it'll be. I think they'll accept offers if they're decent, but they won't be too disappointed if he stays. Lewis, they'll actively try and get rid of.
You can't go into Europe with Lascelles, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no,
I'm thinking ahead. Like,
I think they'll get another potentially look to get another centre half in.
Absolutely.
But the way I look at it is that they'll accept offers for him, but they won't be trying to force him out like they will with Jamal Lewis, Ryan Fraser. That's my point. I think they won't shed any tears if he goes, but I don't think they shed any tears if he stays.
Yeah.
But they'll be looking to upgrade, upgrade is probably the wrong word. Looking for a successor for Fabian Schär, someone that can develop to replace Fabian. Lascelles, when he's been called on this season, has done well, but you wouldn't want to rely on him week in, week out.
Yeah, I love Fabian. I think he's becoming an absolute club legend, me. I think he's absolutely been solid. He's been absolutely fantastic for us, like, this season. Yeah, every game. I think he's had the odd bad game. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. Him and Botman, for me, are the most underrated centre-halves in the league.
I think they're the best centre-half pairing in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go straight on to Dusan Vlahovic for Juventus. Watch this guy regular. This guy is absolutely brilliant this season. Another good season from him. And he's been linked to Newcastle. He's been offered to Newcastle United, according to reports today, because he's not getting on well with Max Allegri, the Juve coach. And he's having a good season, 17 appearances, 8 goals, 2 assists for the 6'3" striker. He's serving at the national. This guy, for me, is an absolute proper target man. He's 23 years old, and he's got a contract up until 2026, I think. Yeah, 2026, 27. And he's got a market value 80 million euros. That's around 70 million quid. I'll start with you, Rory. This guy is a proper number 9. If he's available, again, we should be over this guy.
I've not seen too much of him because I don't watch Italian football like you do. He has I can't. I tried when it first came on telly over here. I just can't. It's too slow. Vlahovic, he's got a good reputation. I know that. His stats matched what you'd wanted in a top striker. 70 million. Can we get him for a little bit less?
Well, Juve's probably have a fire sale on the summer because they need to reduce their wage bill and
because they're unlikely to get Europe. So maybe we can get him for a bit less.
But you got to look at why is he not getting on with Allegri? You know what I mean? Like,
that'd be another thing to look at.
That's important
as
well.
Style of play as well, because Vlahovic is when you say Fiorentina, he used to be an attacking side. When he went to Juve, Max Allegri is not an attacking coach. He's like a defensive coach. But at the end of the day, he sits when he go a goal up or two, he sits back. But they have been scoring plenty of goals of late. They've been on a win and run, and he's a part of that as well. But that guy, for me, I mean, he can play wide as well. He's got a lovely left foot as well because he can shoot from distance as well. He's good in the air, and he'd be an asset. But
I think he will be. Again, I always go back to the two things that I go back to: wages was playing in Italy, I don't think wages would necessarily be too much of an issue.
No.
It's the price. Can we get them for the right price? Now, if Juve are going to have a fire sale because they say they got 15 points deducted, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've got 50 points deducted for financial problems there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, how are they likely to qualify for Europe? Are they likely to miss out on Europe now?
Champions League's going to be tough for them this season, but Europa League is doable. But I think Champions League's going to be so tough because Napoli and Inter Milan are so far ahead of Juve at the minute. I'm not going to lie. But I'm looking at the table now. Juve at the minute, if I just get it up now, Juve, they won over the weekend, and they're now 7th, but they're 11 points, 9 points behind the Champions League spot. Yeah, but look, they're 7th in the league. They can still get Champions League. They've got 12 games to do it, and they got to get 10 points.
Making up 9 points in 12 games is going to be it's
almost
almost impossible because you're relying on you winning and the other team's losing. Or dropping lots of points. I would be very, very surprised if they made Champions League. The other European places are possible, but do their players want to play in the Europa League or do they want to play in the Champions League?
Exactly.
How much do they need to slash their wage bill by?
It's going to be quite a bit though. But Vlahovic, is going to be on. He's on. If memory serves us weekly, he is on a whopping 215k a week at Juve.
I can see Man U going in for him. It's the type of player I think Man U are after. Like, they need a striker. That workhorse. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with him. So I think we'll be challenging United for him and all that. But you got to look at, like, okay, he looks good, but he's in Serie A playing for Juventus. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Premier League's a different kettle of fish, so it's a big risk for a big price tag. Let's hope that, like what he says, we can get it for a decent price to take that risk. I wouldn't go over and beyond to risk him in the Prem. 70 mil probably a bit too much.
If they could get him for around about the same sort of deal as we got with Isak, I think that would be okay.
Not 70.
No, well, Isak was 60.
63.
So 63, I thought you said
63 with add-ons. So if we could do something like that, I think that would be a really good deal for us.
Yeah.
If we can sort out the wages.
Yeah. I mean, anything could happen in the summer. I'm looking forward to the summer for the transfer. I just can't wait. This could be the best.
The other thing you've got to think about the wages is the weekly wage. They can have a lower weekly wage, but slap it on the signing on bonus. I don't know how that. There's ways to manipulate it. It probably doesn't make any difference with financial fair play, but for squad harmony, they can have a lower wage and then have all the different add-ons, incentives, signing on bonuses to make the money up.
Yeah. Could be on bonuses, winning trophy bonuses, league bonuses. Yeah, all that's up. I'll go some more comments as well, by the way, guys. Keep those comments coming in, please. Do you think Eddie Howe needs to improve the bench for first 11? Both, Ashley. Absolutely both.
By improving the first 11 improves the bench.
Exactly. Because then the first 11 need to earn their spot.
Yeah. The bench is... because if we get 3 or 4 players in, we'll start to have a really healthy bench. At the moment, we've got sort of like 3 sort of first team regulars that are on the bench. Or I'd say that when Gordon comes back, you've got 3. Then you've got Murphy. Then you've got there's a big drop after that. I mean, Elliot Anderson might develop into a first team player. But if you get a few more top quality players that are challenging for the first team, you bet our bench starts to look really good.
Yeah, I think Murphy's cemented his spot now for Nottingham Forest. I absolutely love what that bloke does when he gets the ball. He's either wanting to shoot or he's wanting to put the ball in the box. He's been absolutely brilliant, mate. When he's had his chance, he's done it right. And I think you cannot drop him against Forest. He's got to start again. In fact, I think what he'll do is he'll have the exact same lineup, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I would be surprised. There's no need to change it.
Nah.
Like it'd be harsh to drop Murphy after the way he performed. It's not just his attacking; it's the defensive side as well.
Even if Gordon's back, you didn't put Gordon in. I think you just play that same lineup, bring Gordon on. Yeah.
Well, Gordon's out till after the international break, but I think he's done enough to start against Forest.
I just love how he's always putting the ball in the box. He just, when he gets the ball,
in the first 6 minutes, he had about 3 crosses into the box.
A proper winger, mate. And if he's at the centre, and he's got a bit of space, he's looking to shoot. You know, and I just love that about him. There's no messing about with him, and he gets the ball and he looks up and he plays it. It's great.
It's great after all this season that Murphy's finally getting some love from us.
I know. I love him.
Yeah, we'll go through some more comments, guys, as well. I'll try to get rid of them if I can, but keep us coming. You would be desperate to sell the average anywhere near what they paid for him. Have you watched him lately? Similarly formed to Wilson, but worse. He's done okay, but you're right. 90k for Botman. Does anyone think Bruno's head turned by Man City? I'll comment on one in a bit. Botman's on 90k a week. That's in Grandad Shed. Please subscribe to my channel, mate. If you can, that'd be brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Willock had a good game yesterday. I would say Pep's head has been turned by Newcastle. Well, I can't see him managing another English club again. I really don't. Botman's getting 50k in Lille. And Botman is on 88k a week. That's in Jake. Jake, please hit the subscribe button, mate, if you can. If you haven't subscribed, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Big up to Jules.
Oh,
Big up to Jules. How are you doing? Hope she's okay. Having a lovely day. Everyone said hi to Jules. She's good. Even to the Clone Lad, even to Gary D. And yes, John, I've pressed the like button. Thank you so much indeed. Gary, you're a good egg. You're absolutely a good egg. But if that's why he's playing so badly, it's not the way to earn a new contract, isn't it? Just because you play for England again, you go and prove you deserve a better contract. Andrew, I'll be honest with you, man. Right? I love Callum Wilson, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie, but Isak's place is his now, to be fair, because he was absolutely fantastic yesterday. It was just so exciting as well.
I think the other thing about Isak starting and his performance, everyone's been crying for him to start, and he starts and he didn't let us down. He was superb. I think you have to pay him and Maxi together, because Maxi was finding him all the time. He's making those runs in behind, and he poses a very different problem than Callum does, because he's got more ball skills than Callum, so he can actually run at defenders and outfox them. He can get them going the wrong way, where Wilson is more about beating them with pace. Isak's got tricks, and he can do them at pace as well. So I'm with you. I think it's Isak's place to lose.
Exactly. That guy, I've always said, he said when he first set for the door, I said, you know what? That's a cracking signing, and he'll get better and better and better. Chelsea fans got excited for being two teams relegation battle. And as for Clark, I missed your comment. Chelsea get better as the season go by. I hope we finish above them, by the way. I really, really do. And let's hope we beat them at Stamford Bridge as well. The Saudi rumours to be replacing Fun 88 as shirt sponsor next season, and Noon renewed as sleeve sponsor for $8 million for the 23-24 season. That's good news. If that is true, massive. Come on, guys, hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. Is it Saudi or Ryanair? Ryanair. Well, Ryanair.
Because Riyadh Air's the new. Well, it's not so much new, but it's one of the Saudi airlines that they're looking to expand globally. Yeah. And their chairman is one Yasser Al Ramian, our chairman. So
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So you're automatically going to have people going to suggest a link there, but it will be I'm pretty sure it'll be a Saudi company who sponsor us once we've got rid of further date. Whether it's Saudi or Riyadh Air, I don't particularly mind.
Absolutely.
As long as they show us the money.
Exactly. That's what you're going to swim big into summer, I hope. But whoever comes to the door,
It's not just for the summer. It's to be able to spend continually, because we know in the summer Liverpool are going to have a bit of a rebuild. Man United will try and strengthen. Arsenal will want to strengthen. Man City will want to strengthen. Chelsea will want to buy every player with 2 legs. So it's Spurs are going to try and strengthen. I mean, at the beginning of last season, when we only signed Joe Willock, and saying to one of my mates, we said that we've gone backwards because we've got the same squad as we had at the beginning of last season, and in this league, standing still is going backwards. And look at the struggles we had at the beginning of the season. Now we've had 3 solid windows, and we look in a much better place.
Would you say the last window was solid? Would you?
Yes, I would.
With Gordon.
Yeah, well, that's the jury's out on it because he's not really played.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't really judge him on the amount of time he's played, but I think that the business that we've done is solid. Like, people were bemoaning Shelby going because of the number of midfielders we've had out at that time, but we got through that phase. We got them back. We're back in a good place. The business we did with Chris Wood was we got.
It's outstanding. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, everyone was moaning that we paid 25 million for him to get him out of Burnley, so we weakened them and essentially put them down. He did contribute to 6 points directly with goals, and then to get 19 million back on that. So we paid 6 million for him to keep us in the division. That's a bargain.
Outstanding.
And we don't know how. I've not heard what the fee Forest are paying us for John Joe.
That's a good point. I'm not sure what we got for him.
Yeah, because I mean, they bought it because with the John Joe deal, it's a win-win all round, because if he paid 2 more games, which he probably would have done if he'd stayed because of the Bruno suspension and Willock's injury, you're looking at would have had to have picked up another year on his contract. So we missed out on that because he only had 2 games to play. He's in the last 6 months of his contract. So they paid us something. I don't know how much it was. Even if it's only a couple of million, that's a couple of million more. We saved all that money from his wages for a year. Plus, we got a bit of money for him.
Absolutely. Win-win. All the way. Win-win.
And I think that Harrison Ashby is going to prove to be a good signing in the long run. He's the one they're grooming to replace Trippier. He's really highly thought of at West Ham. They didn't want to lose him. I've got one of my best mates is a West Ham fan, and he was bemoaning that Ashby is going because they really rate him.
They're basically kicking themselves, really. West Ham, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it was Did we get anything else in? It was just Ashby and Gordon were the way it once.
Yeah, it was just the 2 of them.
Yeah,
just 2 of them.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. And I think the other thing about the January window is you don't want to be doing lots of business in there because you get fleeced.
Exactly. If you get fleeced, walk away from the deal. We're not going to get fleeced. There's no way. Probably the richest owners in the world, but I tell you something, if we get fleeced, we walk away. Simple as that.
The richest owners in the world don't become the richest owners in the world by paying silly money for things.
Exactly. Go for some comments as well, guys. Where do you think Newcastle will kind of improve? Everywhere we need to, Ashley. Napoli centre back was 40 million buy out this summer for limited time. Apparently, even I've loved the Botman as Kim Miyai, his name is, if I pronounce his name right. He's a brilliant.
How old is he?
He's a young lad. He's only 24, 25.
He's really good.
Really good player. He's quick, pacey, and he is class. Perfect replacement for Fabian Schär in the future. That guy is brilliant. Vlahovic had a good World Cup. Yes, he did. The sound for the panel tonight is brilliant. Yeti, I'll use the Yeti microphone, Sefton, so using Yeti. And news sees Dusan back for next season, from being back from loan. Hope what they can see in the pre-season friendlies. Aston Lee. We're interested in Vlahovic. Also, United will put actual bids for him. Chelsea hijack him, no doubt about that. Did you see the goal for Kvaratskhelia at the weekend, Paul? What a wonderful goal. What a wonderful goal. That guy is available. I tell you something now, I'll take him all day long. What a player. 8 million quid it costs for Georgia International. Napoli fans loves him, but I think he have a second season at Napoli. I don't think he'll leave Napoli just yet. The fans loves him. Vlahovic scored 2 goals for us since October, and that was in the same game versus one of the worst teams in Salernitana. Better options out there for a lot cheaper and less wages. Yeah, I see what you mean, man. See what you mean. But it's gone back to the old Vlahovic for the first 2 seasons and not score many goals. Maguire's available for Newcastle. Ashley, now you're fine, mate. You're absolutely fine. No,
notice the laughing so hard I'm crying emoji.
Go to Chelsea, Ashley. Please no. But to be fair, he's done our return with England, I guess. Maguire, do not put Maguire and Koulibaly in the same line. Koulibaly is a class player. He really,
he's not been at Chelsea. He's not been good at Chelsea.
I know
he may have been good before he went to Chelsea, but he's not been good at Chelsea. So you can put them in the same sentence.
I still take Koulibaly and Maguire. Let's be.
Well, I'm not saying you wouldn't, but you can put them in the same sentence for their performances. The thing with Maguire, he's never let England down, but he last season wasn't good. He's hardly played this season.
Yeah, exactly. But Kula's had 2 decent games. Maguire struggling getting the team. You're right. Big up to Paul, by the way. Hi to you, mate. I hope you're good. Grand Krul has been named in the Aussie squad. He hasn't even scored yet for Hearts, so I could be wrong.
He's missed 1 sitter, but he's been coming on a sub most of the time.
Out of position as well.
Yeah, he started 1 game out of position. Played him in midfield. It's one of those things. I think it may be that the Scottish Premier League is very different from the league down in Australia, and he may be taking time to adapt, which is one of the reasons I sent it out there, because I mean, you look at Scottish Prem, most of the games are a bit like League One, and then you play some class when you play against Celtic and Rangers, Championship level.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's really to just getting used to the rough and tough of British football. It's gonna take time. He'll be back with us for the pre-season, and then they'll decide how he does in pre-season, whether they're going to send him out on loan again.
They probably will.
I think they'll probably look to send him to the Championship.
Yeah, not Scotland again. I know that. The Clon lad says we need a left back. Has he forgot about Matty Target? Like, what's wrong with Matty Target?
He's a good left back, but he's a good left back. He's a good player. Decent.
He's brilliant.
He's good Premier League left back. One of the better left backs in the league.
Yeah.
He started a bit. His form at the beginning of the season was a little bit bad. Then he got injured, and then he was ill, and then he was injured again.
And Burns doing really well.
And there's no need to rush him back because Burn has been doing so well at left back.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is why he's not been playing. I mean, people have been given ASM a lot of stick. Oh, he hasn't done this, hasn't done that. Well, he spent half the season injured and ill.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, you know what? I mean, me cover left backs doing Dan Burn, to be fair, I think he had a brilliant game on yesterday. Really played well. I think Harry Kane will want to leave in the summer. The Conte leaves. They're on about a new contract for Harry Kane, but I don't think Dan leaves.
I think Conte's going to go at the end of the season.
He's done. He's absolutely done. I missed your comment, mate. Yes, about Isak. You're absolutely right there, mate. He better get back Adidas, better clothing for us. Yes. And to get this one, I think Dan window, we weaken with Shelvey Wood leaving. Absolutely. I think Kane will leave Spurs to Man U.
The thing you say we weaken with Shelvey and Wood leaving, they weren't getting much game time. So it's not like we're losing a starting player. They're squad players. May have weakened the squad a bit. Yeah, you could argue that.
I would have
could
got rid of
argue
Wood for free. Me, I would have just said, "Yeah, you want Wood? You can have him for now."
Yeah,
He's-
and Shelby hadn't kicked a ball this season, so you could. Were we really weakening the squad?
No, not with Wood.
Yeah, even with Shelby, because he'd say he hadn't kicked a ball this season, so it's not as if we hadn't been coping without him. Wood, we got terrific money for him. I would have sold him for half that much.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. Guys, keep those comments coming in. Hit the like button, subscribe as well. You're doing a great job. Thanks so much indeed. I hope you're enjoying the show. Business-wise, there's a good window to crew money spent. Yeah, that's on Wood. I think, mind you, we'll go over Osimhen over Kane. And big up to Lewis, by the way. Hi, Lewis. Hope you're okay.
Hi, Lewis.
Great guy. Lovely, lovely kid. Only 2 players in the last transfer window, lads.
Yeah.
I would love that, Paul. Jake's chatting to Lee. Hey, Leslie's chatting to Lou. Great stuff, mate. I saw that he's chatting to Jake. It's about time. Nice of Russell Howard to join us. Didn't know he supported a Toon. Russell Howard? Hey, yeah.
Yeah, man, I put my hat on for a reason. Just to avoid the Russell Howard comments, but they're still coming in. Aye.
Wow, is that comedian guy?
Yeah, it's the comedian with the dodgy eye. I don't have a dodgy eye, but everyone says that. I look like.
I've only seen him a little bit because being an outget, I had to think who he was.
And everything, like what?
Wow. I think Cafe surely I would go to Madrid. Hope that's hope not comes to us, but I think if he's going to leave, he'll probably go to Madrid. I was at the game last night. That's Lewis. What a lovely touch by the ball boy. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
I missed that. I haven't seen it.
Chelsea have put a 50 mil bid in for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus another 20 in add-ons.
Exactly. Who should be our number 1 targets in the summer? For me, it'll have to be, in my opinion, it'll have to be a striker. What about you, Roly? Number 1 target?
Number 1 target for me would be a defensive midfielder. So it can move Bruno further forward.
That's a good shout.
I think it'd be nice to have another striker in, but I think if we're starting Isak, I think the goals will start flowing, especially with good supply, good wingers. We need another winger at least.
For me, I think keep Bruno where he is. I like him at CDM. It's working, and bring in Madison, bring in another Cam, like another attacking midfielder.
Yeah, good shout. That.
Yeah.
My addition would be in midfield, whether it's defensive or
100% midfield. 100%. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Claude Ladd said,
striker, but I think defensive midfield is where our biggest area of need to be challenging for titles.
We need to upgrade Sean Longstaff, don't we, Rolly?
Yeah, we do.
Massive. Breaking news.
You forced me into that one.
Wants to say Sean Longstaff. Wow.
That's not disparaging him. That's not disparaging him at all. It's like it's like everyone's saying, like, we need an upgrade on Wilson. Wilson's still good. Sean Longstaff, in my picture of how the club is going, he'll be in the club for the next 3 years, and he'll be more of a rotational player than a first team starter.
Agreed.
At the end of those 3 years, depending on his development, he might get another contract, or he might move to pastures new.
I have no problem bringing him on.
Yeah, not do I.
Yeah.
Or starting him.
Yeah, he could do a job. Why not?
Yeah. But we want to. At the end of the day, we don't want to stand still. We want to get better. It's an evolution, so we need to get in the summer window. We need to get better players in than the ones we've got in the various positions, so that we can strengthen our bench. Because those players that are starting now will end up on the bench. We're in a situation more like the Manchester United's of this world, where when they take someone off the pitch, they've got someone that's sort of almost international class to come on. At the moment, once we get past 3 substitutions, with the greatest respects of Matt Ritchie, he's a championship player.
Yeah.
Once we get through past the first 3 substitutions, the level drops. we need to be in a situation where we've got 6 or 7 players on the bench, and you can pick from any 5 of those, and the level on the pitch stays the same. So we need to have a stronger bench. So if we buy 5 players on in the summer, that will give us. That means that there'll be either 5 players dropping out of the first team, or 5 players on the bench that'll be better than the remainder of the bench after the first 3 come on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little worried about the Maddison's injuries.
It's only been this season, though.
He seems to get injured a lot.
It's only been this season. His injury record before the season has been really, really good.
Yeah. Anana is another shout. I like that.
Yeah. He's been one of the only bright lights at Everton.
Yeah. If they go down, then I think we'll get him.
Yeah.
I think if we get enough money for this guy, I wouldn't have any problem saying would he be first choice. He likes the Premier League. If he does come, he's got legs. He's 6'5", and I tell you what,
he's got the height for our team.
He could be another.
In our team, won't he?
Yeah, he could be another shithouse lead. You know what I mean? Because of his height.
Yeah, I mean, Anana's a good player. He's just in a shite team. But then you have that problem. Is he just a good player in mediocre company, or is he just and that's why he looks really good, or is he that good?
You should ask people to comment who their first target is, just to see what, like, it'll be interesting to see.
It's a good idea, Carl. As Carl said, if you post who your first choice signing would be, who should we sign first in the summer? So we can see what people think.
I feel like people in the comments answer that question for me. But
that's what we're asking.
Yeah, okay.
Get your comments in.
Get your comments in.
Who was yours, John?
I say we could do another striker if you can.
Do you know who you would bring in first? Who you would like? I know Ivan Toney, isn't it? Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney. I've always said Ivan Toney. It would be. If it was my first choice, it would be him, because I tell you what, that guy is just getting better and better and better.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
A good player. He's a good player.
It's going to be interesting to see what his ban is for this betting. I think that will make a big bearing on whether he goes or
exactly. I'll go through the comments as well, guys. At least 5 new players in for summer sign. I
agree with that.
Hi to Colin. Hope you came in. Let's just chant I like coffee. Chatting about Cucurella, by the way. It's a long way to go before the end of the season before we can speculate transfers. Let's see where we end up first. Tanji, I see your point, but we have to discuss it.
Let's dare to dream. Let's dare to dream.
A dream, man. Yeah, dare to dream. Constant left back mid, 2 attacking, and the defence also another good striker, maybe another centre back, or backup goalkeeper. Some Colin, Mason Maddison. Colin said Osimhen, 120 million quid, 130 million euros. Jez said Savage for Lazio, Neves from Wolves. I think he had a good game yesterday for me, to be fair. Madison from Lee. Strikers, you can get 20 plus goals a season. So a must for me. All those draws because we have missed chances. Get a 20 goal scorer. Cool.
I think Isak can be a 20 goal striker.
He can.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a taste of the Premier League. He's unfortunate to miss a lot of games through injury. He'll get a full pre-season
when he's
in the summer. Hopefully, he'll be starting for the rest of the season.
He has to.
He could end up with 10 goals this season. He's got, was it 4 already?
He's got 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think Madison won that. I think a lot of people see Madison. Look at Leicester at the minute, lads. They could go down.
Yeah,
they're really struggling. And I'm sorry, but Madison isn't staying at Leicester. Even if they stay up, I can't see him.
No, he's not staying.
So if he's going anywhere,
it's the case of where he wants to go.
Yeah, and he's mates with Trips and all that. We're doing mint. There's no excuse. Get your salary here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, guys. Let's go some more comments. I've always said Madison's for first sign. And Gareth, Paulinia, Claude Ladd, I tell you what, that guy's brilliant.
He's having a good season.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, Bruno's at his best as attacking midfielder, so we need a CDM. Alan, we said that all along. Yeah. And all these players mentioned are probably wanting Champions League football. We don't even know we can get that top 4 yet. Tangi, we're in the race. We're in the race, man.
I don't think Madison would be a problem whether we're in Champions League football for Madison.
Even if we get Europa, I'd be straight over.
Yeah. Osimhen, maybe you'd need.
We're not getting Osimhen.
We're not going to get him. Mihailovic, Savage, I think that would. Even him. I think he looks great.
From Atletico Madrid, the defender, centre back.
No, the midfielder. From
him, yes.
Is he at Napoli?
Lazio,
Mihailovic, Savage.
Milinkovic Savage.
Yeah, where's he from? Which club's he at?
He's at Lazio.
Lazio, yeah. I think that for some of the, Osimhen we're not going to get. Vlahovic, maybe Mihailovic, Savage. If we just miss out on Champions League, I think that they might be convinced because they think, well, it's only we could make the difference to getting there.
Yeah.
I think if we get Champions League, it just makes it so much easier.
Absolutely. We can still get there. We've got games to do it. We've got to win those games. We can defend, but you've got to score more goals, and keep defending. We will get there. We'll go through these comments. Not sure about Mad. He missed 18 games through injury, 2021 season. Last season had little niggling injuries with his hip as well. Still a great player when he is 100% fit. And Alakov means Neves. What about Harry Kane as a choice? I can't see it happening, though. I really can't. I've been told
if he was to come, that'd be great because he could break Shearer's Premier League scoring record playing for Newcastle. That'd be great.
Yeah, he's not coming.
Can't see it.
Hey, stranger things have happened. I mean, in the Keegan era, did you actually expect us to sign Shearer? I didn't think we'd go for him, for one thing.
No, not at all.
And we got him for bloody hell. In the 80s, you're too young for this, Kyle.
Yeah.
Keegan came to Newcastle in the second, what was then the second division, the Championship. The England captain, two-time European Player of the Year, came to second division Newcastle.
Yeah,
I never saw that coming. Stranger things have happened.
Agree. Absolutely. Romeo Lavia for Southampton to go down if you don't get Madison. I think he's one of the better players for Saints. Samba and Giza to allow Bruno to push up field, bringing in Grimaldo and bring Mitchell home. That would be unreal. I don't think Mitchell should come back. Grimaldo, he's on the free.
Mitrovic has been and gone.
He's a Newcastle fan, though, isn't he?
He may be, but it's one of those things. It's like the same for next girlfriend, never go back.
Do you know what? I'll tell you the God's honest truth. I had a box in the season when the Championship when we had Meat Raw, and I watched him every week live, and I didn't like him. I thought I hated him. Honestly, I was going through him like nothing else, saying how bad he was, and he's been absolutely outstanding since he left. And I probably would take him back because he'd be cheap. He wouldn't be expensive, would he?
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. I missed a couple of comments, so I do apologise. Thanks to mention Gonzalo Ramos from Benfica. He's been on fire for the Lisbon club. 20 goals this season.
Too much for him.
Yeah, they will now. 20 goal strikers are should rare. If you go through the history of the Premier League the last 20 years, very rarely do strikers at 20 more goals than twice. It's much more about sharing responsibility. That's from Chess. Chess has a fair comment there. Grimaldo will be a good shout. He's on the free. Savage is an ideal target for us. Leao, if that's yes, you spelled it so correctly there. And Leslie Leao, that guy is absolutely brilliant. But he'll be released cost 125 million by Milan. Barcelona's young left back is quality. He's only 90 years old. I don't think he'll be going anywhere soon. Madison will go to Champions League team if failed to reach top 4, probably Man U or Tottenham. Madison, not necessarily, man. Not necessarily.
Tottenham on getting Champions League and all that.
They won't get it this season. It'd be us or Liverpool. I think it'll be us just. Manchester has good injury like the last 5 seasons. He's played over 30 games a season. That's some Paul. No, we don't want Harry Kane breaking Stuart's records.
He's going to.
No, Harry, not for me.
We don't want Harry Kane to break Shearer's scoring record unless he gets a couple of season-ending injuries early in season. He's going to break it, so you might as well do it as a mag.
Exactly. Do it as a mag. Do it as a mag. I think Spurs fans will be hacked off for that. I think we get top 4, so hopefully we get some of these players. I don't like it when we sign players for them to be injured, etc., which is unfortunate if it happens.
So you can't legislate for injuries. Some player it tends to be the fast players tend to pick up hamstring injuries that reoccur, but the other players that you can't legislate for some of the injuries that like Emil Kraft's injury. I'm not saying it's a world beater, but it is a bad chance. It didn't look as bad as it was until he got scanned, and that's his season done. But I think most players, it's very hard to say that a player picks up injuries. Sometimes it can be down to repetitive sort of strain injuries, which once they start going, you tend to get more of them. But the other injuries that players get, I mean, some people that do cruciate ligaments do it one season and they get it again the next season and the other knee. It's not for anything particularly wrong with the person. It's just these things happen. And some players take longer to heal. Some players tend to, because they want to play, come back a bit earlier than they should do. And it's up to the clubs to manage it. And
there's players that never get injured.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, and they do the sort of things that other players get injured doing. So it's a very difficult one to judge.
I think Willock played every single game for us, didn't he? Never ever got injured. Yeah.
And then he's got injured this season.
Yeah.
It's part and parcel of the game. So they go through medicals, but you never know how they're going to react because they come from other clubs to us, and we've got a different style of playing. Very high tempo, very high energy.
Yeah, it depends on training as well.
Yeah, there's so many things that go into it, so it's a bit hard to. I mean, we say that Callum Wilson's injury prone because he does miss sort of like 6 months of every season. That's a bit more. We knew what we're getting into when we got him, but he guarantees goals.
Yeah,
he's a little bit off form since the World Cup, but he had a decent haul before the World Cup.
Very, very true. Very, very true. But you can't legislate that. But it happens opposite every single club. Harry Kane gets injured as well. So there you go. Just a couple more comments before we're going to wrap up the show. Do you think Isak can score 15, 20 goals if he starts every game for full season? He looks immense. Colin, it's just
absolutely.
Absolutely doable. Joe Linton and Willock are good examples of players who plays a lot of games at Miggy too. Joe Linton's been outstanding this season. Willock, it gets in the play that he has been. I mean, you got to give Willock a start again. We should try for Theo Hernandez. That's a bit ambitious there. And I'll tell you what, he's a cracking player. Cracking left back.
I don't know anything about him.
Plays in Milan. He's an attacking left back. He can defend. He's an attacking left back. Brilliant going forward. And he can defend as well. But sometimes can be a little bit clumsy, but he is really good.
But so is Modric. You know, we're not going to get him. I don't think we'll be getting there. Theo Hernandez. No chance. Did a goal poacher for us, Aston Lee, and the relegation battles this season is scary. Before we wrap up,
relegation battle. What's one of them? I've forgotten what they're like.
Exactly.
Do you know what though? Going on that, like it's going to be like the end of the season, like towards the end of the season, last few games. That it's going to be so interesting this season because of how close it is.
Yeah,
but like at the bottom of the table. But what I'm worried about the most is Newcastle United because it's gonna like them last few games, you know, to try and get that Champions League spot. If you know, if we win the next two, we don't lose the last three, we've got it. It's ours. It's ours to lose. Something like that. I just think the pressure. I'm really worried about the pressure on the lads because it's such a big deal for us. How we're going to cope with that pressure. A bit like Wembley. Do you know the final? I thought the pressure was a bit, you know, again, like, you know, just get me point. I'm worried. I am worried about that element of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fascinating end to the season. Talking to my mate's a West Ham fan, and he's convinced they're going down. But the thing about it is, you look at from the bottom to 12th, there are only 5 points.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And from the drop zone to 12th, it's only 3 points.
I think Crystal Palace are like the safest. I might be wrong there, but they haven't had a shot on target in 3 games.
They've got 27 points. And if they carry on like this, they're getting sucked into it because you've got Southampton bottom on 22.
Then Leeds and
Leeds 23. Then it's Bournemouth, West Ham. I think is it Everton on 24? No, Everton on 25. And then you've got Nottingham Forest on 20.
No, Leicester,
on 25. Leicester on 24. Wolves 25. I think Forest at 26. I think, and then it's Palace on 27. So it's basically any 3 from 9 will go down as it stands at the moment.
But how do you think we'll cope? You know what I mean? Like with the pressure.
I think the thing that I've noticed, and we've been doing it all the season, it's a next game up, one game at a time.
Yeah.
In Trippier's press conference after the win says, yeah, we're not scared about talking about Champions League. We want to get there, but we need to concentrate on the next match. We get that. If we win that one, we get a step closer. And it's about not thinking too far ahead and worrying.
Yeah.
If you can keep that mentality, and Eddie Howe said it all through season, right? They said, "Oh, are you going to enjoy this? Yeah, I'll enjoy it for a bit, and then but this evening I'll be on to the next match."
Yeah.
And if you can keep that focus on the next match rather than the prize at the end, it sort of sneaks up on you. And then all of a sudden you realise, oh, we're actually in the Champions League.
Yeah, it'll be really nice if we're cemented at worst the 6th position for Europa, but we still have the chance for 4th in the Champions League.
Yeah,
that'll be exciting. That
and I think that will take a lot of pressure off us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because getting into Europe is a big deal, and it's overachieving, so that they can say, well, we've got that now. Let's see if we can get some. Let's add some gravy to that by getting into the Champions League. Let's bust the gap and try and get in there.
Yeah, that's very good chat there, lads. Very, very true. West Ham State will stay up when the Europa Conference. That will be a successful season. Moyes will be a god.
No, he won't be. He won't be a god.
He won't be. He won't be. Not the Premier League things have anything to do with it. Position change, not to worry about teams that we're winning. So you can stay exactly. But I tell you what, though, I can see a big name guys going down this season. I really do. I think Bournemouth are going to get away with it, guys. I really think
the biggest problem Bournemouth have got is their goal difference. It's horrendous.
Exactly.
It's like giving them a point handicap on just about everybody down there. And what that win on Saturday will do for their confidence, that's going to be a massive boost for them.
They were unlucky against Arsenal as well. That was a really good game.
Yeah,
2 goals up as well, and they've blown and they just cocked out. But
and they're 3 hit games for them. They're not expected to get anything out. If you told any Bournemouth fan before they played Arsenal and Liverpool they'd get 3 points, they'd have ripped your hand off.
Yeah.
They'd have ripped your hand off for a point out of those 2.
Absolutely.
You get 3 points from Liverpool. That's just going to do their confidence a world of good. Because it's not a bad side. They've had their moments when they have been bad. But we've only taken 2 points off them.
Exactly, that's the thing. We should be beating teams like Bournemouth. No disrespect, but we should be beating teams like Bournemouth. But still,
the thing you got. I mean, everyone says, "Oh, we should beat them. We should beat these." But the thing you got to remember is that there aren't easy games in the Premier League. If you play badly against anybody, you'll get beat. They're bad teams by Premier League standards, and teams can play shocking, but you've got to turn up for every game, or you'll get beat. I don't care who you're playing. If we didn't turn up against Bournemouth, if we didn't fight against Bournemouth, we'd have lost down there.
You're right. I mean, that's all down to Dan Burn as well when we had that mess up as well. I'll tell you what, if Solanke scored that goal, that would have been down to him because
he didn't score the goal. But the thing is, it's not about blaming one player. As a team, we didn't play our best. They took the lead, and we had to work to get back into that game. That's the point I'm saying. It's not like individual errors, or everyone has an individual error, lapse concentration. As a team, you have to turn up and play.
I think this window's so important for everyone.
Yeah,
absolutely everyone. Yes. This league, every position is so vital for everyone. This window, like, it doesn't matter what position you're in.
Yeah, it's just the teams at the bottom fight, the teams at the top fight. There are no easy games in the Premier League. The games you expect to win. I mean, there've been some freaky results this season.
Very truly,
and that's because of the strength of the league as a whole. If we don't turn up at the City Ground on Friday, we'll get beat. If we turn up, we could give them a spanking. That's how the league is.
Exactly.
It's the no easy games, but the games. I think the best way to describe it, they're no easy games, but they're games you can win easily.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Go for this one come before we wrap up the show. Nobody's entitled to beat anyone this season. In particular, has had many shocks results. The gap between the bottom and the top is closing. Every team is improving in some degree. Tangi, absolutely right. And we're going to end it there, guys. And thanks again for coming and joining us. And Carl, could you tell us your socials, miss, so people can find you?
Just Twitter, mate. At Povey, NUFC. You'll see me on there tweeting about all sorts of crap.
Yeah. And no fighting tonight as well, which is fantastic. And
ROLYS, I'm on Twitter at Paul67.
That's fantastic. Brilliant stuff. And you can find the links in the description there, guys. And if you follow them, they follow you back. And if you go to my socials as well, you find us there as well. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Social media as well. It's all there. Insta, it's all there for you as well, guys. So do follow us and do subscribe to my channel if you already knew. And Bournemouth has been massively disrespected this season, including our own fan base. Very capable team on the day. They nearly beat Arsenal at Emirates before Liverpool wins. You know what? I think Bournemouth will stay up the season. Gavin Nill's doing a wonderful job there.
Before we end, just to make it a bit fun, let's have a prediction, lads. Every one of us. The three that we think will go down, and we'll see who is right at the end of it. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say Southampton, Leeds, and I think I'm going to go with what I want, and I'm going to say West Ham. It's so hard, but yeah, I'm going to go Southampton, Leeds, West Ham.
Go on, Rolly.
I'll agree with Southampton. I think Leicester have got a good chance of going down because they're so inconsistent. They can be really good and really poor in the same match, and they're not picking. They've been really poor most of the season by the less recent standards. I
know you've got to look at fixtures and everything. I'm just like top of your head from what you've seen.
It's not from what's saying. The other one, and I'm going to do as you did, Carl, who I want to go down rather than necessarily I think to go down is Everton.
Yeah,
I want them to go down so badly.
Was he good?
Wow. Wow.
I think this one will get out of it, but it's not a foregone because they played well against us, and then they turned in 3 or 4 shocking performances afterwards. It makes a season ticket holder. He goes to the games and he says, he thinks they're going down. He really does. He thinks they're awful. But I'll go for Southampton, Leicester, and Everton.
Okay.
But I could be totally wrong because it's so tight down there. I was tempted to say Crystal Palace because their form is pretty bad, and they look quite out of it, and now they're in it.
Yeah.
Can they turn it round? But I'll stick with those 3: Southampton, Leicester, and Everton.
Okay.
Fair enough. Let's go through the comments as well. Through definitely going to wrap up. Crystal Palace leads to West Ham for Tangi. Arsenal's got to play Palace at home this weekend. Julie saying Southampton leads West Ham, Everton, Leicester. Fox is saying Leeds, Southampton, and Palace. I think Brentford will slip right down if Tory gets a ban soon. I think Brentford will be fine, 100%. Lee saying Southampton, Palace, and Everton. For me, I'm going to say Southampton. I'm going to say, as things stand, Leeds. And for me, I'm going to say, I think Everton get out of it. Bournemouth will get out of it. I'm going to say between Leicester, West Ham, and Palace. For me, I'm going to say, as things stand, I'm going to say West Ham. Good evening,
Same as
Tom.
me.
Yeah, Southampton, Leeds, and West Ham for me. I'll tell you what, name's going to go. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you get relegated, it's going to be tough to get out in the Championship, I'm telling you.
It's not easy.
No, not easy at all.
The reason I didn't go for Leeds is they're an attacking team and they can score goals. Shock at the back, it's whether they can score enough to get the points. And a lot of it will depend on how many of the teams at the bottom have to play each other again.
Exactly.
Theirs was at 12 games. I think they've all got sort of like 12 games left.
Yeah.
They'd have played they'd have played a load of clubs twice, so there are only 12 clubs. They've got to play how many they've got to play at the top, how many they've got to play that are around them.
But it could be Everton, West Ham, Leicester. It could be something crazy like that.
It could be. It could be Palace.
It could be out.
Yeah, because they're saying Palace, Leicester, and West Ham, or Everton, Bournemouth, and Southampton. I mean, Southampton have picked up got a good result against Man United. They're getting their second manager bounce.
Yeah.
It could be. It's any 3 from 9.
It is. I'm surprised no one said Ward-Prowse today because I would love him at the club as well.
I'm not convinced in the chat as well. I'm not convinced of him. I'm not saying he's a bad player.
He's the best free kick taker on the planet, in my opinion.
He's great with free kicks, but I'm not convinced of him at his overall game. But just me. That's just me.
Wow.
Liverpool have a bad run of games. They've got some really tough games coming up. You're right there, Tom.
Yeah.
They've got Chelsea, Man City, something stupid. I don't know. I seen the other day. It's not good.
Oh, let's hope they draw against Chelsea again because I don't want Chelsea to get into Europe.
No.
And then they lose to Man City and they lose to everybody else. I saw someone, one of my mates sent me this meme about Liverpool, a picture of Jurgen Klopp dressed as Robin Hood, saying that Liverpool are the Robin Hood of the Premier League. They rob from the rich to give to the poor.
I love it, man. And on that note, we're going to leave it there because at the end of the day, we've been here for another hour and a half. And thanks for guys for the contributions as well. It's been fantastic. Also, thanks to the people
thanks for inviting me back on.
It's been amazing, guys. You're welcome anytime. The show's open. If you want to come on, let us know. And I know Brad sent us a message earlier on. I've just seen it. Sorry, Brad. We're doing it again in a week so I can get you on mates as well. And Fox as well before we wrap up. Amazing no one has said for us. Shows how good a job Cooper has done after getting slated so early in the season. I'll tell you what, they couldn't have spotted Bob as well. He's done a cracking job. But I tell you, I don't know who's going to be in trouble as well. But and also as well, Chris Wood will not be playing on Friday, and Brennan Johnson could be out injured as well. So that's two. That's good news in Newcastle.
Because Wood's still, he's technically still our player.
Yeah,
because it's a loan with an obligation to buy, so that only kicks in. He's triggered it, but that kicks in the summer.
Yeah, he's got to sign for them now, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, he can sign permanent.
He's still on loan. He's still on loan from us, so technically,
don't scare me like that, Rolly.
Yeah, he's technically still our player, so we shouldn't be eligible to play on Friday, but they've got to buy him in the summer.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. So, guys, going to wrap up there this time. We've got to wrap it up because it's been overdue. Top lads, it's been great. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We'll be back again, and I'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you, Tom, as well. I appreciate that. We'll be back on Wednesday for the Premier League prediction show. Me and Lottie's going to be doing that show, and she's agreed to do it. And, guys, if you like the video, links in the description. Do follow Carl and Rule on the Twitter accounts as well. And it's been a fantastic show. And would you take Vlahovic? Would you take Raphinia? Who else would you take? Savage is available, could be as well for Lazio. Yeah. Robin Koch could be available for Leeds United as well. We never mentioned him. He's a good defender. So, guys, leave it in the comment section as well. And then I'll chat to you guys offline. And thank you so much indeed. And thank you for Leslie as well for looking after my channel, and to Jules and to Chess as well. And until then, have a good evening, and I'll road you guys backstage. And until then, it's a good evening, good night.